So when this war started between Israel and Hamas, we've talked a lot about the naval power that is being brought to bear by the US. We have two carrier strike groups, the Ford Carrier Strike Group and the Eisenhower, also known as the Ike. We also talked about Israel's naval capabilities, but it's easy to ignore the massive amount of firepower being brought to bear by US allies in the region and as well. And this graphic shows NATO and US allies operating in the Mediterranean. Now, obviously, I talked about the Ford Carrier Strike Group, which is here, and the Eisenhower Carrier Strike Group operating here, and this is Israel right here. But in the Mediterranean, meaning they're within a day or two sail away from supporting Allied efforts, NATO efforts, we have multiple countries in this area. So I'm going to talk about some of the countries we see. So when you see things like FGS, FGS right here, that's Germany. That's the Federal German Ship. That's what that stands for. If you see things that are RFA and HMS, obviously that's Britain, His Majesty's ship. And you have some of the RFAs as well. These are part of ships that are supporting Britain. You have España, the ESPS, and I'm not going to circle all of them. You have Denmark and the HDMS, part of the NATO Maritime Group. You have France with the FS. You have Turkey with the TCG right here. You have Greece with HS, the Hellenistic Army. So you have Greece and the HS. And where did that go? Oh, right here. I covered it up. This is the HS. That's Greece. You have Bangladesh with the BNS right here. You have, and I'm covering these up, but you have KRI, which is Indonesia right here. You have ITS, which is Italy. So this is a significant amount of firepower. And what this graphic doesn't show is the Israeli Navy as well, which has 20 ships off their coast. So this is a total of about 43 ships. And oh, by the way, this doesn't include submarines, which are kept secretive, but they are almost certainly escorting the carrier strike groups and the standing NATO maritime group currently. Now, when you talk about China, Russia, Iran, what would potentially be the possible counter to this naval force from the collective West and allies of the US in the region? China has 6 ships, and I've talked about this. These were ships that were conducting operations for anti-piracy off the Somali coast and have redeployed to the region. Russia has 5 ships, including 1 submarine in the area. Iran has 14 ships that it can bring to bear in the area. And when you look at the total there, that's about 25 ships. A single U.S. carrier strike group would bring devastating firepower to bear on these 25 ships. But we have 2 there, plus the additional allied ships. And obviously, you can see why Russia and China are staying quite peaceful and quiet in the Mediterranean region right now.